All right, so we're going to do a quick take video here. I'm with Alexander Mercouris, and we're going to talk about Putin's announcement at the Valdai conference, his statement that ISIS in Syria has 700 hostages. Many of them, he didn't give a number, many of them are Western European, American. We don't know the exact specifics, but I'm sure we'll find out. And ISIS has certain demands, and if those demands are not met, they will be killing 10 hostages a day. And from what I understood from what Putin said during the conference, they've already started to kill hostages until those demands are met. Alexander, what's going on in this breaking news story? And this is something that we will get more in depth. We'll do an in-depth analysis of this story as we get more information, but we wanted to get this information to you guys as quickly as possible. Alexander, what's going on?
Right. Well, first of all, what Putin is saying, if true, is shocking, and it's a shocking claim, and it's astonishing it's not been widely reported. But what he said, and you have to also look at a previous report from the Russian news agency TASS. What he's basically saying is this: that there was an operation, a military operation in eastern Syria, in an area where ISIS is still embedded, and he blames the US for leaving ISIS to be embedded there. There was a battle between ISIS and the Kurds. Supposedly it went wrong because the US Air Force bombed the Kurds by mistake rather than ISIS. That gave ISIS an opportunity to seize control of a refugee camp. They took 700 hostages. As you rightly say, Putin says some of these are EU and US citizens. He doesn't say what sort of people these people are, but the assumption must be that they are aid workers of some kind in a refugee camp. And he says that they are killing them at the rate of 10 a day and have already killed the first group of these. And the demand that ISIS is making is that apparently some ISIS leaders who were captured by the Kurds are released and handed over to ISIS. So that's Putin's story. And of course, the key point he's making is that ISIS remains a threat in eastern Syria, and he's blaming the US for that.
Real quick, Alexander, do we have any information as to how this happened?
As I said, it seems to have been a muddled battle which went wrong. That's what both Putin and TASS, which presumably is getting its information from the Russian military, is saying, that there was a bombing raid by US F-15 fighter bombers, which bombed a Kurdish militia group instead of ISIS fighters. And in the confusion, the ISIS fighters were able to seize control of this refugee camp. But as I said, the key point that Putin is making is that the US is not really responding to this hostage crisis, which exists in eastern Syria, and that it is responsible for this hostage crisis because it is its geopolitical maneuvers that have kept ISIS alive beyond its natural life. I stress this is all we're getting at the moment is from Putin and from the Russians. There's as yet no comment from the West or from the Western media about this. This is a story about which we're probably going to hear more. And as we hear more, obviously, we will discuss it further.
Yeah, I would imagine now that Putin has made this statement at the Valdai conference, it's making its way around the world. And we should probably get some comments soon, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I am sure that at some point, within the next few hours, we will hear the US version of this. And of course, any EU governments whose citizens have also been captured will no doubt also be saying something also.
All right, so we'll take a look at Putin's announcement, his statement at the Valdai. We'll show you the video right now. Guys, that's the news from Putin at the Valdai conference. What's going on in ISIS, 700 hostages. Alexander Mercouris, thank you very much for your insight and your take on this breaking news. Guys, click the subscribe button, click that notifications bell, buy a t-shirt, donate to our PayPal and Patreon page. Alexander Mercouris, take a look at the video, guys. Send us your comments down below. We love to read the comments. Take care.
Call this number 1. But what's equally important is we have helped Syria preserve its statehood, and thereby we have preserved stability in the entire region. Just yesterday I spoke to the President of Egypt, and he shares this outlook, and many countries and heads of state share this outlook as well. So I believe that we have achieved our